The Witcher 3 next gen version has brought many new improvements and additions to the game, and in today's video we're going to be going over the best improvements with this free next gen upgrade that is on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S and PC. But just before we do get into all of that, please be sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. And I do want to let you guys know about a giveaway I'm running on this channel. CDPR have confirmed that later down the line there will be a physical release of this next gen upgrade for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and this will be a complete edition of the game, and you can actually win this for free on a platform of your choice. If you subscribe to the channel before this does release, then you'll automatically be entered into a giveaway to win this on a platform of your choice. All you have to be is a subscriber on the channel. And finally, I do actually run another channel which covers the latest news regarding Rockstar games, particularly with their Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto series. A link to that channel can be found in the description below. So let's get into the video. So to start things off, we're going to go over the graphical improvements, which I think are really good. I think it's really impressive that these have been added to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt all these years later. So of course we do have the ray tracing. This is on both consoles and PC, which is a really nice addition. We see this with all of the next gen upgrades, to be honest, and it's nice that we've got this here with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt as well. There are also loads of environmental improvements. This includes a new weather type, which is grey sky, updated sky textures, vegetation and water improvements, various mesh improvements, and improved global environmental lighting. Now these improvements are going to make the game feel way more atmospheric and in general just make the game feel much more immersive. The game is already extremely immersive, but this is just going to improve that even more. Something else which is really cool is that the character models, which includes Geralt, Yennefer, Triss and Ciri, have actually been upscaled to 4K, which is really nice, and it's going to make them just seem way more real, if that makes sense. And of course on PC we do have AMD FSR 2.1 and Nvidia DLSS 3. Now at the moment these are a little bit, they're a little bit messy, they're not working that well, but I'm sure in the future CDPR will work on this and they'll be working as intended. And of course on PC we do now have the Ultra Plus graphics settings, and this allows you to change the shadow quality, grass density, texture quality, foliage visibility range, terrain quality, water quality and the detail level. And this, it just makes the game look even better than it already did on PC, and it's the new sort of level for maximum graphics on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on PC. Then of course over on console we've got the ray tracing mode and the performance mode. The ray tracing mode provides obviously ray tracing and it targets 30 FPS, and that's for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And then there's performance mode, which will give a smoother gameplay at 60 FPS, and then of course it will lower the resolution a bit, and that's for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now even over on the Xbox Series S we actually do get a 60 FPS mode. Unfortunately it doesn't actually have any ray tracing capabilities, but there is still a quality mode which provides a higher resolution and targets 30 frames per second, so it's nice that we're still getting those options over on the Series S as well. Now still on the graphics side of things, there is actually some implemented community made mods, which is really awesome to see. We have the Witcher 3 HD Reworks projects, the HD Monsters Reworked mod, the Immersive Real-Time Cutscenes mod, the Nitpickers Patch mod, and the World Map Fixes mod. So it's really nice to see that CDPR have been giving some members of the community some recognition that they deserve for making these mods, and they've even gone out of their way to integrate them into the game, which is really awesome to see. Now on PlayStation 5 of course we have the DualSense controller, and this next gen version utilizes that controller, and it has the use of adaptive triggers and haptic feedback on that controller, which is really nice to see. They didn't really have to do this, but it is very common for a next gen version of a game on PlayStation 5 to implement this, and The Witcher 3 is no different, and it has done so, which is, that's awesome. So next up is one of my personal favorite improvements, and that is the cross progression. We saw this before with the PC and Nintendo Switch, but now we're seeing it across the next gen consoles as well, which is awesome. You're now able to transfer your save from, for example, an Xbox Series X to a PlayStation 5. For example, you may be on PlayStation 5, you complete a certain mission, and then you upload your save to the cloud, and then you go to your Xbox Series X and you can pick up where you left off. This is particularly useful, especially if you have something like a Steam Deck and you're using it on the go. Then when you get back, you could, for example, transfer it to your PlayStation 5 and continue where you left off. And that's really nice. The only downside here is that achievements don't transfer as well, but to be honest, you can't really expect that. With the way some achievements are programmed, it wouldn't really work that well. But either way, it's a really cool improvement, especially in my opinion. I think this is, really nice to see. Of course, we have the new camera positions. This makes the game feel way more immersive, and it can make it feel like a different game, to be honest. You're able to make the camera closer to Geralt when you're just generally exploring, if you're on a horseback, and during the combat, and you can change it for each of these different scenarios. And of course, if you don't like it, you just put it back to the default, and this can all be done in the settings. So it's really nice to have the options for those default options, but when you do first boot up this next generation version, it will automatically be on those new camera positions, so you'll be able to check it out and see if you like it. Personally, I think it's really cool to see. I don't know if I prefer them, but it makes the game feel a bit different, so I'm happy to keep it, and it definitely switches things up a bit. Another awesome improvement, which I think is a pretty necessary one, is that the minimum height for fall damage has been increased. So this means that you can now fall from higher heights. It's really useful. Sometimes I just fall from a tiny height and I just die for some reason, so it's nice that this has been altered, so now I'll be able to actually fall from a reasonable height without dying. This next one is sort of just for those console players or those players that use controllers. There is now a dedicated sprint button instead of the old-fashioned way of just holding down X or A to sprint forward, which could be a little bit annoying at times, to be honest, since if you wanted to jump and stuff like that, you'd have to take your thumb off of the X or A button to then jump or anything like that. And now this has been changed, so now you just tap the left stick and then you will automatically be sprinting forwards, which is sort of a more modern way of doing things, especially in the RPG side of things. So it's nice that CD Projekt Red have joined this train, and they are now doing it's a much better way of being able to sprint in games. So next up is a bit of a classic one, and that is the faster loading times, especially on the next generation consoles. The game has now been optimized for those solid state drives, so you're going to be getting much faster loading times. This means that when you are fast traveling or you're just generally loading into the game, you'll be loading in faster. So yeah, you'll be able to get from point A to point B faster if you're fast traveling. And of course, when you are loading into the game, you're just generally going to be able to get into the game much faster than you were before. And yeah, this is a really cool addition. So there is now actually a slow walk option in the game. You could sort of do this before, but it wasn't really sort of properly implemented, but now it is. If you are just tapping the left stick, you'll be able to slow walk in the game, which is really, really cool. And it can be pretty cool in some situations and actually pretty useful in some situations. And this is particularly seen when you're using a controller. Now, there have also been in some improvements to the subtitles. You can now scale the font size for subtitles. This includes NPC chatter and the dialogue choices, and you'll be able to find this in the options video and then the HUD configuration options. Some people, the subtitles get in the way, and for some people they're too small, so you'll be able to alter this to how you like them. And of course, if you don't like the subtitles at all, you can just turn them off. There is now actually an option to dynamically hide the minimap, and this can be done for when you are riding your horse or when you're just generally exploring the map, and this will also hide the quest objectives along with the minimap. It's also used for when you're using your Witcher senses as well. It's just going to make the game feel a lot more clean for when you're doing something where it's useful to be able to see the entire screen. Of course, you don't have to use this, but it can be found within the options, then the video, then the HUD configuration, and then you're able to hide the minimap during exploration and hide objectives during exploration. You get the option between both of them there. And now on the last ones, which is probably one of people's favorites and one of my favorites, is of course the photo mode. Now, I have already done a video going over the photo mode. It's a complete guide, and a link to that video can be found in the description below. But the photo mode is amazing. You're able to take some insane pictures in this game. The game looks amazing, especially after this next gen upgrade, and it did look amazing before, especially with all of the lighting and the scenery and all of the the evening lights with the sunset, the sunrise, everything like that. It can make the game feel really atmospheric, and having this photo mode really it brings out the full potential of this game, and it makes it just feel amazing. And we always see it in RPG games where there's a photo mode, and it's something that The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt had really missed, and it's finally got it. And I think, yeah, it's a really nice addition from CDPR. So there we go. Those aren't all of the improvements, but they are the best improvements that have arrived with this next generation upgrade for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Those improvements can be found on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. So it's really nice to be able to have these now, and they definitely improve the game. I would love to hear your thoughts on this next gen upgrade down in the description below. And just a reminder about the giveaway. Anyone that is subscribed before the release of the physical version of the next generation version of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will have a chance to win it for free in a giveaway on a platform of your choice. All you have to be is a subscriber on the channel before it releases. So that does just about wrap up things here. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content just like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.